We got another episode today. I'm here with my new friend, Matt Liska, and he's from the track and field team here at Revis. Are you a senior, Matt?
Yeah, I'm a senior right now.
A senior. So Matt is going to be on the show. We're going to talk a little bit about track and field, a little bit about life. We will laugh. We will cry. It's going to be amazing. All right. Welcome to the show, Matt. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. What about you?
I'm doing okay. I'd like to say I'm average because, well, that's my secret weapon. It stops people and makes them kind of think when you say, yeah, I'm average. We're going to talk today about track and field. We're going to talk about Revis. We're going to talk about the team. It's coming up in the spring. We're a little bit away still. So how much time do you guys have until you start?
I mean, we've been training for preseason, but we're about to start. I think next week we have a meet coming up. So that's like where we kind of kick off. But indoor season's more of like our warm-up, where outdoor is really more of like the real season.
And what kind of training are you guys doing in your off-season or your preseason, your indoor season?
Relatively, we're hitting a lot of plyo work, jumpy work, squatting heavy, lifting heavy. Basically anything with weights and that's heavy is what we're doing around this time.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually throughout the season, we got to like stop doing that because when we're in season, we can't really lift heavy anymore.
Are you more of a sprinter, or you do hurdle? What kind of events do you take part in?
I'm a sprinter, so we have to train more like of an athlete than a bodybuilder, which people typically get wrong about trying to train for track and usually mess up.
There is a need for you to lift weights. There is a need for you to strengthen, like you're training as though you're a bodybuilder, but you like to do that in the off season. There's like a certain pocket of time where you want to focus on explosiveness and strength over, being faster. So tell me a little bit about how that works.
I have like a little crew. We train over the summer. We hit the gym a lot. We do quarter squats. We do a lot of jumping plyo work. Mainly muscles that like fast twitch muscles are what we usually target because you need to run faster speeds. We don't really build muscle as much. That's why I said we kind of train like an athlete. And we also do have to have really strict diets at some points throughout the season.
I never really got into the whole idea of track and field, mostly because I played a spring sport. I was a baseball player, so there wasn't an opportunity to do that. I think if it was in a different season, maybe I would have had a different outlook. But tell me a little bit about how we have people that are purists, like track people, versus people that are using track as a supplement to their core sport, their main sport. Like you probably have some football players who are also...
When it comes to track, a lot of people, like mainly football players we get, or basketball players, they come to track to think like they're going to get faster. And some of them are like relatively confused why when they join, like they're not as fast as like a track athlete. But there are some really good football players that do track as well. So it's really helped them, especially one of my friends, Maciek Shruti. He's a football player, and that's his main sport. And he also does track on the side, and it's definitely helped them throughout his football career.
So do you think that it definitely helps them get faster, and it helps them in ways that it's going to benefit them in their sport? Maybe they don't end up panning out as a track and field athlete. Like you would be like, oh, you're not really, we wouldn't even look twice at you when it comes to competing here, but it did help you on the football field or the basketball court.
Absolutely. Like all the training that we do, endurance work, sprint work, heavy loads, explosiveness, it all comes out on the field and the basketball court at the end of the day.
So would you say, I was never fast. That was one of the things that kind of held me back from my own sports. Like you get to a point where maybe you have a good amount of skill in a sport. You're a smart player, you're a good teammate, you check all the boxes, but one of the things that when I was young, which was a long time ago compared to now, we didn't really have much of an idea of how you could train your body to get faster. Like it was like, yeah, you should probably run and maybe you should watch what you eat. But, they would say something like, I would go and try out for a baseball team and they say, well, we can't teach speed. But do you think you can teach and train speed? Like now I think we have more knowledge about that sort of thing than we did back in the 90s.
I mean, absolutely. With all the equipment and training that we've progressed over time, like it's becoming way easier to become faster, especially with like athletes that are reaching around like 9 seconds in the 100-meter dash. Like it's been pretty impressive. I would say we've had a lot of more supplements, a lot of more drills made throughout the years, which athletes like you never experienced back then, that we have now. And I also feel that track's become like more popular than it once was before, a long time ago.
Yeah, because it really, there was really no draw for someone who was playing sports to be in track. You know, when you're on the football team, it's like the school culture revolves around the football team. Like your three main sports, right? There didn't seem to be any glory in being, you know, you're out there beating yourself up and you're working hard at this thing and you're trying to be great at it, and it's almost like nobody even knows what's going on. So I feel like that has changed. Would you agree that that's kind of shifted over the last decade or two?
Yeah, I feel like track's become more of like you against you. It's no longer like a team sport as people see it. It could be like at the meets. Like I definitely agree that there's a lot of cheering going on for all our shot putters, our discus throwers, our distance runners, our sprinters, mid distance. There's definitely a lot of crowds going on. But when it comes to like in your own race, it's you against you. There's no one you're really going against. It's like what you can and cannot do.
Yeah, it's man versus himself. And I would say that's even more, it could probably be even less of a team sport than something like wrestling, which I consider an individual sport because there's nobody to point a finger at and it's you on the mat versus an opponent. But when you're racing, it maybe it isn't even you versus the opponents, it's you versus your own time. So it's kind of a unique situation, right? Like and it does I think it builds some mental stamina, and it builds some important tools that are probably good and will serve you well into the future.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. That like when you're in your race, it's not really like your team. It's like just you and your time. It's all time. That's all track is. It's dropping as many seconds as you can. And what people relatively get wrong about track is that like you can't drop like a second easy. It actually takes time, years, and dedication to actually do that.
I mean, it's a lot of work for these little incremental gains that you're not going to see. And I think that's probably even that part of it is a little more difficult nowadays because especially young people, the world is, you know, a lot about instant success, instant gratification. You know, you swipe something and you got it all figured out, where track is like, it's a process. Like you have to really, really grind it out just to make these little tiny gains. As far as the team scoring goes, how does that work with track and field scoring so that, you know, as a team, if I was like, how's the team this year? You'd be like, I don't even know. That's not really how we look at it.
So the scoring is dependent on like what each individual player is placed at. So it's all the throwers, the mid distance, the distance, and the sprinters. So whatever we place in the relays, which is kind of a team thing, they put the average of that throughout the points on Athletic Net, and that's what determines who wins the meet.
If you're talking about the team, and we are just going to look at it from that perspective, how is the team? What's our strengths? What's our kind of like our best events?
So I noticed that Revis has a lot of distance athletes that are capable of so much to do, more than the sprinters, which we lack of.
We have a strong distance program, and then how does that translate to track? Like what event are we, what do they do on the team? Are they like mid-distance, relay? What kind of thing are they working on?
They mainly do the mile, the 800 meter, and then sometimes they do the 400 meter as well.
So we're looking to be pretty strong in that area. And you said we're in need of more sprinters.
Yeah, we've been lacking a lot of sprinters lately.
And is it open to people to come and try out? Is there kind of like certain qualifications, or you know, how does that work? Am I going to go and say I'm going to try to do this, and someone's going to go not quite, my friend?
Go to other sports, you mainly just have to like good at it. In track, it's more of like I said before, the time. So when you run, everyone automatically makes the team, but to run at meets, you have to qualify with certain times to run in order to actually run.
Yeah, but I would say that's probably the same in any sport. I coached baseball at Revis for a long time, and we would have, you know, 17 guys on the team, but only 9 are going to be on the field at a time. So you might train, you might practice, but when it comes to the game or it comes to the meet, you may not start or you may not even participate. So you guys have kind of like a pecking order of like, these are our best times and these are the horses we're going to go with when it comes time to do the meet.
Yeah, that's how it kind of goes, that like wherever the best players are, mainly we have JV or varsity. You can only really get 4 guys on a relay, which is the max. And usually varsity runs more, and it's usually typically the same athletes that run it. The same 4 athletes run throughout like the whole meet. So it's kind of hard to get everyone in for running.
Yeah, right. Because like I could have somebody pinch hit or pinch run, but you guys can't be like, man, you know what? Today you're gonna run. Yeah, no, that's not the way it works. We need to go with our top people. All right. So, what are some of the things that you yourself are looking forward to out of your personal journey in track? Have you been involved in track and field since you were a freshman? What did that look like before high school? Is it something that you're looking to really try to keep part of your life moving forward? Where are you with the sport yourself?
After middle school, I started picking on like a way to like lose weight, and running kind of became that balance that I kind of needed in my life. And the first time I ever ran was freshman year, and that's when I wasn't really that good yet, but that's where I had like the most passion throughout all my years, and that's where I had my dedication and where it's brought me today.
Well, that's pretty cool. So now you've worked your way up as a freshman, and now you're a senior. So this upcoming season, what is the thing you're most excited about? The thing you're working toward?
I would say probably my time, because last year, unfortunately, I got injured on my foot, so I was pretty much out the whole season. So this is kind of like my redemption year to run.
All right. So you don't really have anything from your junior year that you can say, I have this sort of a benchmark that I'm looking to surpass this year as a senior. You really didn't get an opportunity to compete at that level last year because of injury. How about sophomore year? What did sophomore year look? How was that to you? You were better than when you were a freshman, but you probably felt like you weren't quite there yet.
Sophomore year was probably like my peak of like all time of where I've been. That's when I dropped my time like almost a whole second over like a summer. That's where I would always hit the gym more strictly and have a good diet. And that was probably like the most fun time for track.
Moving in, like after that injury, when were you cleared to start participating and working out again?
After the injury, it was around already, I believe April, and track ends around May. So I only had like a month to prepare, and it was still hard getting back in shape. So I mostly trained over the summer to get back in shape.
And how are you feeling about that? Like, what do you think you're going to come and you're going to be reaching or exceeding that level that you feel like you got to as a sophomore?
I absolutely think I'm going to crush those scores, in my opinion, because having that motivation of being injured, it kind of sticks to me and makes me want to work harder and be more angry towards it.
Yeah, I think that is a good way to look at it, and it's a positive way to try to come back from an injury, because I think that can be, that crushes you. Not only is it a physical problem, it's also a mental problem. It's like your confidence problem. It's like, is this gonna, you're questioning yourself a lot, and it's a lot of work to get back. I think it may be more work to get back than it is to get there in the first place. So I feel like transforming that into a bit more of a hunger or a little bit more of an anger. And if you're playing angry, sometimes I think you can reach some levels that you didn't think were even possible before. So you're coming toward the regular season here. We got our indoor stuff coming up. We have the field house. Is that where our indoor meet is going to take place?
Also, yeah, the indoor meets are going to start. We're not really hosting many this year, but to go mainly about what we're talking about, the field house, it was a major opportunity from last year having that for track athletes, because we'd always have to run in the halls, and that's what really typically caused shin splints, if you guys know what that is.
Let me tell you, my friend, I went to high school here and played baseball here, and we weren't even close to a field house. And even for all sports, we practiced when it rained outside in a hallway, and I ran a lot of times in these hallways. I think I still have some shin splints from 1993. Tell me a little bit about the outlook moving into the season, and then we could always watch this video back in the future and see how close you were. I think I had a bowler on here that said, all we really want to do is beat Richards. And then I had another bowler, and they were like, we beat Richards. So that'll be kind of cool to look back on. So tell me a little bit about the upcoming season and your outlook on that.
So I feel like this year is probably going to be one of our best years that we've ever had. Compared to all the guys that we have as seniors, we have like a big class with like the best runners. We do have a bunch of sophomores as well that are pretty good, that might be good in a couple years. But typically our biggest contender is Richards, and they've got pretty good over the last couple of years. I personally know some of the guys out there, so I've always known that they've been like pretty explosive and pretty good at doing track. And overall, I definitely think that we could probably get top 3 in conference this year.
Nice. So it's Richards and you guys, and then who's the other team that would round out the top 3?
Mostly Evergreen Park, because they have really good jumpers there.
So their specialty is hurdles? Is it hurdle? What do we call it? Or are you talking about long jump?
It's more hurdles, long jump, triple jump, all of their jumps. They're mostly really good at.
You're in high school. You're participating in your sport. What's the next step? Is it college? Is there something outside of college? Is it Olympics or bust? What do you got as far as that goes?
So typically people don't really know this, but track is like one of the easiest sports to get a scholarship for colleges. But I would say after the college kind of route, there's nothing really more you could do unless you make it to the Olympics. You have to be really, really good.
Yeah, I think if you're making it to the Olympics, then we're already telling stories about you when you're in sixth grade. But you probably already know most of the people that are on that level. It is interesting to look at sports this way, like all the different, you'd say sports, it's a big umbrella there, but there's a lot of little different intricacies in every different sport. So I learned a lot today, Matt. I appreciate you coming on the show.
No
and you gave us some good information. Yes. We'll probably cut that part out. We'll end it with a little bit of music, as we usually do. And we'll see you in the next one. Take care.